Atul Paranjope, who is Vice President, Digital and IT from L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering. Atul has more than 35 years experience from L&T, including senior director and executive roles in that company. His presentation title is Adding Value Through Digitalization in an EPC Industry. I'm looking very much to hearing more about that. And Atul, please feel free. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Sabal Khair and Salam Alaikum. I will start my presentation with this photograph, which is taken in our Sohar yard when we were manufacturing tying platforms for Saudi Aramco's Hasba project, Hasba 2 project. So I'm going to talk about how we can add value through digitalization to a EPC project industry. A short brief about my company. I am from L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering, which is a 100% subsidiary of Larsen & Toubro, one of the major engineering and construction conglomerate in India. We have 5 verticals addressing offshore, onshore, construction services, modular fabrication, and also an engineering services wing for the hydrocarbon industry. Our digital enablers, or the L&T companies, which help not only us, but also the outside industry with digital implementations, are L&T Infotech, L&T Technology Services, L&T Next, and Mindtree. We have been awarded as the first #1 EPC contractor in the top 30 EPC contractors list on oilandgasmiddleeast.com. On the left-hand side here, you see the Hasba 2 tie-in platform, which weighed around 7,500 tons, installed at site in Saudi. How have we achieved this? By addressing the EPC business imperatives. See, all these 3 things are very important for any EPC business. In fact, to that matter, for any industry: quality, health and safety and environment, delivering on time, and delivering within the cost, within the budget. All these 3 things are the most important value drivers for any project, any industry, any business, I would say. But do these 3 pull the project in different directions? Is it that when I'm focusing on quality, I might incur extra cost, or I might take more time? If I focus on delivery, will I be cutting corners? If I focus only on cost, will I be cutting corners with quality, safety, or delivery? So this is a question which has been eternally put to any industry, and balancing these has been a great challenge. I feel the digital revolution can actually help in balancing this and achieving the "and" paradigm. We want safe, first time right, and on time, and within budget. And if we achieve all these 3 with the "and" in between, then we can term it as a project success. And digital is what will help us in getting there. Okay, what are the challenges faced by EPC industry specifically for implementing digitalization? See, it is comparatively easy, and a lot of other industries like mass production industries, automobile industry, even fast-moving consumer goods industry have implemented, financial institutes have implemented digitalization in a big way. But the EPC industry has been having problems because of non-repetitive processes. Our projects are generally custom built, they are tailor-made. A lot of special requirements are there, because of which the processes are non-repetitive. It changes based on geography, it changes based on customer, it changes based on location. The processes change. Materials are not standard. There are special requirements on materials, because of which economic order quantities becomes a problem. The vendors or the mills are not ready to give us competitive rates if I add additional requirements like additional testing or additional manufacturing conditions. It becomes a problem. We have a large variety. On top of it, we have very aggressive timelines. We have multiple revisions, because for optimizing the project and giving value to the customer, sometimes we have to revise the specification. Once we revise the specifications, suppliers actually get very upset, and they then raise the prices, or they even say that, okay, the delivery times will be extended. We have complex workflows. There are a lot of approval cycles. Okay, there are third-party inspection agencies. There is customer approval. There is our own internal approval. There are many things which have to be addressed. And the main hurdle for digitalization is that we are not able to address AI or ML, machine learning, because of low data volumes. We don't have millions and millions of transactions like a automobile industry or a standard production industry. We have been implementing integrated project management to get all disparate systems, different functions, different vendors on the same platform. We are using a integrated project management system which we launched a few years back, and we are now quite mature and we have started realizing benefits out of this. There are 3 steps in this actually. There is a transaction layer, then there is a tactical decision making layer at the project manager level, and then at the CXO level there is a strategic decision making layer. And all these are required to be seen on a single platform with a single version of truth. Starting with operations, that is the tasks, bill of materials, schedules, milestones, all these. Then we should have a 360-degree view of engineering, procurement, material status, construction status, all of that in one platform, one dashboard. We should be able to do 3D scenario planning in 3D. So whether if I see a 3D model and I start looking at different scenarios in planning, that will really help me. The next is multi-D collaboration. That means not only 3D, but I should add additional dimensions to it, like cost, resources, safety, performance management, operation management. So it can go 5D, 6D, 7D. So rather than calling it 7D, 8D, we are calling it multi-D collaboration. And all this ultimately should give project optimization. So that is what we are trying to achieve here. So this is the program code name is Epsilon, what we call it Epsilon in our organization. We have implemented smart supply chain by use of supplier community platform, which is Ariba. And we have done everything right from supplier management up to payables and invoice management. L&T Infotech, our own company, is helping us in implementing this. This is the landscape of all digital applications that we are implementing, right from proactive safety and quality, cloud migration, worker tracking, that is connected worker, connected machines, multi-D interactive, what I talked about in the previous slides, real-time tracking of progress, and of course, remote collaboration, which has become very, very important in today's pandemic type of a situation where travel is a problem, social distancing has to be maintained. We have used remote collaboration for remote installations, remote supervisions, remote certifications, and inspection. If you see on the left-hand side, you see a heat exchanger being installed with expert advice from a Netherlands-based OEM. The site is in Guwahati, in Assam, in India, and the vendor or the supplier is in Netherlands. He didn't travel. He did it using a smart collaboration virtual tool. This is a right-hand side, you see a photograph of a pump being troubleshooted by our expert sitting in Bombay for the pump being installed at our Hajira yard. We have connected workmen. We have implemented a system called as Visa with a W. We are doing with the help of our own company, L&T Next. Okay, there is a centralized database of with skill mapping. There are faster worker onboarding. And we also have facial recognition for attendance and video analytics, gang productivity, where we can track work, weight, transport, or idle of the workers. And the safety management, PPE, postures, behavior-based safety. We are having around 3,500 workers on board on this system. And we are also having a ATEX certified RFID tracking for 350 workers in special zones, like on the barge or on the platform. Connected machines, IoT based. This has been implemented by many organizations. We are also doing it for cranes and earth-moving machinery and all that. This is a unique thing. We are monitoring fuel consumption, not using a float type of a sensor, but flow type of a sensor. We are monitoring the flow from the pipelines, from the fuel tank to the engine. And with that, we are getting the fuel consumption tracking with all the dashboards. So we are using this on all our barges, which we are using for pipe lay and all these. Video analytics. We are using video analytics for identifying whether the workman is wearing the right PPE or no, whether he is wearing a helmet, goggles, whether he is walking in the correct gangway or no. This green is a gangway. He should be inside the gangway. He should not leave the gangway. If he's going near the machine, it will be a further alert which will be shown, and the SMS will be sent to the supervisor. So machine utilization can be done using video analytics. Virtual barricading can be done, and PP tracking can be done. We have a suite of safety applications, right from e-work permits to analytics and visualizations. So ultimately, what do we want to achieve? We want to deliver on time, every time, within quality and safety, within budget. With quality and safety, within budget. So ensure quality safety, optimize and assure the schedule, accelerate decision making, minimize waste, and reuse knowledge. All this data which is captured has to be reused for future projects so that the decision making is faster. So what do we do? Digitalization, unlocking the value. The real value is in this, leveraging the past knowledge, understanding it and implementing it in the present, and predicting the future based on this data, having a predictive algorithm, and that's where the value is. So thank you very much for listening to me. If there are any questions, I can address them at the end of the session. Thank you very much.
We have one for Atul here. And Atul, is your team able to integrate or create intelligent 3D reality models for offshore assets?
We have been doing this part of our integrated project management system program, where we are taking the 3D model from the authoring tool and then adding additional information onto that, and then we can also publish it to a virtual augmented reality or a virtual reality goggles, so that you can have a walkthrough or you can have a review. You can also have 30%, 60%, 90% review, as-built review. Those things also can be done on the virtual reality platform.
Perfect. I see that there is another one here. SAP S/4HANA core along BW for HANA addressing 360-degree dashboard view for all the processes. What's the platform you're using for analytics?
We are using the Dassault 3ds platform for integrating all the information into one place. And then for analytics, we will use any other platforms where we can analyze that data and give us dashboards or whatever. But the integration is done using 3ds platform of Dassault, which integrates with SAP anyway. SAP S/4HANA.
Excellent. Perfect. And here's I see a bigger question. What is, as part of L&T, what is the role of LTI exactly for digitalization? If you could help, I see you have unpacked it a little bit there, but maybe you want to provide some context for us.
Yeah, in fact, we have three companies. One is L&T Infotech, that is LTI. They actually help in enterprise solutions like ERP or cloud or cyber security or those type of things. Or even in the financial sector, they do a lot of work in the financial sector. L&T Technology Services does a lot of work with the engineering sector, and they actually give engineering services like 3D analysis, special analysis, PLM, all those things are done by, and even to some extent IoT are done by L&T Technology Services. And we have a specifically new entity which is floated, which is L&T Next, which actually leverages all our companies, businesses, and offers digital solutions to the outside world, including IoT and analytics. So there are three entities, and of course there is Mindtree, which is more in media and media related services.
Perfect. I saw there was one in between here too. Not sure who is supposed to, but maybe you can try to answer that one as well. Are you using gamification technology?
We have actually not started using gamification technology for safety, but we are doing it for HR, for recruitment and for training. We are doing that.
One more question that I can pick up actually from Khalid Obaid. He's asking if we move away a little bit from the technologies, he's wondering about people development, and he's asking, are we going to create superhumans who can conduct multitasking? So can all of you provide some kind of input to this question? It would be interesting to hear everyone.
That's the idea of the digital twin. Will let us move away from having a specialized engineer or a specialist into having a general engineer that can do a lot of things. Yes, I agree.
Would anyone else like to share their opinions?
You know, it's about augmenting and empowering humans, right? So this is machines and humans working hand in hand, and there's still a long way to go to you know, understand all the cognitive decision making that goes on with the human mind, so to speak. So we see that this is a measure to empower organizations and becoming more effective, spending more time on high value add activities versus repetitive activities, and then moving up the maturity of analytics over time to become even more enabled and intelligent.
The use of knowledge and smart decision making or agile decision making, these two are the key things which I think digital will help us in bringing. Because today knowledge cannot be reused because it resides in minds of people, and when they retire or they go away from the organization, the knowledge goes along with them. So reuse of knowledge, that is one. And once you have easy access to the knowledge on the tap, your decision making also will improve.
I'm glad I went after you, Atul, because we specifically designed some of our cognitive solutions that incorporate knowledge for exactly that reason, because people are leaving and they are the only ones who know how to do stuff. So what AI solutions allow us to do is to capture that, but then also to put that knowledge in the hands of the users. So now we're distributing that knowledge across the entire organization. So we're really bringing the entire organization up the technical capability ladder and leveraging all of the, let's say, most advanced tools at the same time. So really this is a broad-based win for the entire organization and all the people in